New data, how the Zepbound shortage is going to continue to affect you and your pocketbook, and solutions for all of these things. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have had the privilege of losing over 100 pounds the last 23 months, almost 2 years, of being on Zepbound and Mounjaro and Tirzepatide compound. And on today's episode, I want to do a deep dive on a new data that's come out. My source, I will cite it down in the description link below, is from CNBC. And it's talking about prescription fills for Zepbound weight loss and WEGOVY weight loss. So I'm going to lump the WEGOVY weight loss, semaglutide weight loss, onto my Zepbound camp. They're also talking about that in this article, but nonetheless, it still is something you absolutely need to know about as a Zepbound user, or if you're thinking about getting on Tirzepatide with it. So from this article from CNBC of December 5th is the release date on it. And again, I'll link it down below, is that prescription for Zepbound and WEGOVY have more than doubled in 2024. My source is GoodRx for that information. That these doubling of the prescriptions is one of the reasons why we're having these continued shortages, although the manufacturer Eli Lilly has taken Zepbound off of the FDA shortage list, showing that they're not under shortage. Some people, though, are having, in my free encouragement group, we've had a lengthy conversation about this, of that you may be experiencing a shortage even though it is off the shortage list. There is some legalities in that, because that relates back to Tirzepatide compound, which is a multi-million-dollar industry. And so compound, it gets murky. The water gets a little bit murky here. So there's ongoing legal battles on that. I'm not going to get into that arena. There's lawsuits associated with all of that, with the compound industry versus Eli Lilly, but nonetheless, saying if there's a shortage is what I'm referring to with the FDA. Nonetheless, there's a ton of people on Zepbound. And so that increased here in 2024. And this is amid insurance coverage dropping for the formularity with Zepbound, and out of pockets for treatment, people paying, which I do, I pay out of pocket for mine. According to the new data from drug savings company GoodRx, which examined fill trends and spending patterns for weight loss drugs like Novo Nordisk Wegovy and Eli Lilly Zepbound, it offers more evidence to the insatiable demand of buzzy class of medications known as GLP-1s and GIP agonists, which the price tag is about $1,000 per month before insurance or the savings card. Obviously, go to Eli Lilly's Zepbound website to check out that savings card information. But it's talking in here, and this is one of the things that I found fascinating, and I want to get to that part of the article, was that there's high fill rates come at just 9% of commercial insurance have unrestricted coverage of Zepbound, and 14% have unrestricted coverage of Wegovy, according to GoodRx, meaning commercial insurance with unrestricted coverage. That refers to insurance coverage without having any hoops for patients to jump through, such as prior authorizations or higher BMIs. If you are falling in under Zepbound, the other, what is that, 91% of people who have the restrictions with commercial insurance, or your insurance isn't covering it. But if you're looking for PA's prior authorization, in my humble opinion, Join Fridays, use the discount code QUEEN, is the best. They're my telehealth care provider. They're excellent in terms of, they have a whole department. It's a concierge department for PA's prior authorizations to work with your health insurance company to get coverage. If that is not an option, then taking compounds, semaglutide compound is an option. They're running right now like a 3-month special that you can get. Use the discount code QUEEN. There's a lot going on with that. In addition, there's also the weekly encouragement calls 2 times a week. There is a dietitian group coach call. If you're trying to figure out, like, what are my macros? What am I, like, all of this other free stuff that comes included in it in terms of the education, body movement classes. There is a ton that comes with that. I highly recommend using Join Fridays. Their stuff is phenomenal in terms of telehealth, but also their educational stuff that comes included with working with them. You can have your video chats with a healthcare provider, or now, because I'm on Zepbound 15 milligrams, I do what's called is it async? Is that what it's called? It's where I can submit in the portal. They have this whole build out portal of where I can submit to be able to just have my refill on my prescription. I don't even have to meet with it at this point because I've been on it so long. I mean, hello. been on GLP-1 medication for almost 2 years. So that's a really cool thing too if you're looking to have just ease with filling your prescription. But going back over and use the discount code Queen, I'll link that down below, as I'll also link this article and everything I'm talking about today too down in the description link below. My free meal plan that's dietitian created, my free encouragement group link, a ton of free stuff. My free weekly email encouragement. I spend thousands of dollars on that every year for you guys as a free reference for you. So a ton of free stuff down there too. So in terms of far higher rates of patients, around 60% to 70% are under insurance plans with more restrictive coverage on drugs. A group member was just saying, for example, the federal government, if you're on Blue Cross Blue Shield, they've been in the news a lot recently. Did you guys hear about Blue Cross Blue Shield I forget what state it was, about changing anesthesiologist time that people can have anesthesia for surgeries? Anyways, a mess. Blue Cross Blue Shield, for example, for the federal government is changing their formularities in terms of the coverage being available. Zepbound, for example, for that one, I mean, there's tons that I know. I'm just referencing that one off the top of my head. For example, that one, they didn't put Zepbound on the 2025 formularity. Like, come on now. And that's one of many, many, many examples that's going on. But under insurance plans with more restricted coverage of the drugs, it talks in here, insured people taking Zepbound can expect to pay $2,500 a year in co-pays for the drug. GoodRx found that people spend on average $231 out of pocket for the monthly prescription of Zepbound from January 2023 to October of 2024. Insurance is not just the stopgap that is used to be, but $231 per year, or per month, excuse me, out of pocket. That is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Meanwhile, nearly 1 in 5 people with commercial insurance have no coverage, at least one branded GLP-1 or GIP-1 agonist prescribed for weight loss. GoodRx also found that Americans have overspent by at least $200 million by paying full retail price for weight loss medications instead of leveraging the savings options like GoodRx coupons, assistant programs that are offered by Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk, which, by the way, GoodRx said it calculated the overpayment number based on average price people could have paid for the drug with the GoodRx discount. GoodRx said people without insurance can save on average $250 monthly or $3,000. Okay. Clearly, GoodRx, how did they get this article in CNBC? So I'm going to stop talking about GoodRx because that's not the point of this video. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the finances of this in relation with the shortage, I mean, that's so many people trying to get the medication, and of course we're willing to pay more. Would even go, and you tell me in the comments, I'm super curious. I didn't even look at GoodRx to see what the discount price was. I'm like, who has the medication in my neck of the woods? Who has it? And now that I've been on, I don't do mail delivery. I'm looking into that for 2025 if that's an option for me to do meal delivery, but I literally go to the pharmacy. And I've done a whole video on that. If you're like, where's the best pharmacy to go watch that video. I give you all of the tea on the different pharmacies. That should be a wrap. All of the tea for the different pharmacies. And so driving there, that takes like 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to go in and pay. And it's such a rigor, and park and walk, and 30 minutes back home, an hour and a half each month. It's such a waste. Anyways, but I didn't care about the GoodRx savings, for example. I cared who had the medication. And so I think in 2025, as we see the Zepbound shortage, some pockets in the country are still having it, some pockets are not. I have seemingly been able to get my prescription pretty well the past few refills without any hiccups. And so I want to encourage you, maybe it's your particular pharmacy, but if that's the only one in which your insurance company will allow you to go to, that's where it gets even spicier. And so that is also contributing with the Zepbound shortage. I think, in my humble opinion, we're going to see some hopeful alleviation on this because it was also, and I'll link this down below. Do you guys hear Miss Wilma Jean? She's just going to town with whoever's back there. I hope that is not picking up on my mic and you guys are not hearing her completely bark her brains out, but here we are. There was about Eli Lilly, and this goes back to the Zepbound shortage as well. It says, and my source is Yahoo Finance on this, on Thursday, December 5th, They said, Eli Lilly said that they're investing $3 billion in expanding the manufacturing plant it bought in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin earlier this year. If you have real estate in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, you just got a heck of a lot richer because Eli Lilly is scrambling to meet the demand for its weight loss and diabetes drugs. The new investment in this factory, which helps acquire from Nexus Pharmaceuticals, will help boost production of Eli Lilly's powerful weight loss drug and diabetes, the company said. Today's announcement is our single largest U.S. manufacturing investment outside of our home states of Indiana and will made the ability to expand our capacity, said Eli Lilly's president, Eduardo Hernandez, who's the Lilly's president of global manufacturing. So they're investing money in to help with this shortage as well. But knowing how many people, I mean, going back over to the other article about how many people are on these medications, I mean, having that 100%, what is it, the doubling of it, what was a specific number I said at the very beginning of this video. It's crazy the number of people on this drug. No wonder that there's a shortage, but having on there, what also boggles my mind with this too and how it affects our pocketbooks is how many insurance companies are not covering these medications and how it continues to prove, and I have the whole scientific backing in previous episodes. I mean, I have, gosh, 400 episodes, but talking about cardiovascular events with heart disease, sleep apnea. I mean, there's a ton of stuff coming out with dementia and Alzheimer's and testing with Parkinson's. I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot. So I do think we will hopefully see some relief in 2025, but new international markets are also getting released with these medications as well. And so there was an article that I was just reading about England in relation to Mounjaro with their NHS rollout that's happening. So one of the federal Medicare plan does not cover weight loss treatments, but the Biden administration said in November it proposed a rule to allow Medicare and Medicaid coverage to cover weight loss drugs for patients with obesity. It would if greenlit by the incoming Trump administration, the rule would significantly expand access to treatments. We'll see if that happens. More will be revealed on that. I don't know how that's going to play out. And people have been talking about it in my free encouragement group, and I had not necessarily commented because I don't like to comment on political stuff. And so this is not political because it's in terms of coverage. We'll see though. We'll see if that goes through or does not go through. I hope it goes through. I hope that it goes through for the Medicare plan. Medicare and Medicaid is what the both are being proposed. So a lot's happening. Every time I do one of these Zepbound shortage videos, there's always more information that's will be revealed. So we could not have predicted that Zepbound would get off of the FDA shortage list. And like just the sequence of events, like literally like every week, it's like there's new information. So stay tuned. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button. And again, if you are looking to switch over your telehealth companies, Join Fridays is fantastic. I highly recommend their information to, in addition to not just the telehealth component, but like the mindset component of it, of working with group coaching calls twice a week for dietitian, movement stuff. I mean, they got a ton of stuff in there, and they have a whole portal too. If you have any questions too, if you're like, oh, my prescription or whatever, go in the portal. They're so helpful. That portal is amazing. Spent a lot of money building out that portal, and it's fantastic. So. And if you're looking in terms of like, they prescribe both brand names like Zepbound, WEGOVY, and then also things like semaglutide for compound. My sweet lovey-doveys, I'm going to link all of the articles I talked about in today's show down below in addition to my free resources, your accountability question. What are you doing today that will move you closer to your goals? And your emoji of the day is going to be a peach because you're a Georgia peach. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have my Clean Simple Eats collagen. I love the peach mango. It's my favorite. I put it in an unsweet iced tea. Oh, I'm having that after this video, and I'm so excited. So today is peach, and if you like Clean Simple Eats, they have more fruity stuff versus like savory things. The discount code is Queen. They have clear protein. They have a ton of cool stuff. I just got their eggnog protein shakes. So excited. I'm going to be doing a bunch of holiday videos in addition to GLP-1 content too. So stay tuned for those. Feel free to skip those or watch them, but those will be rolling out later this week if they haven't already rolled out too. My sweet friends, I love you guys so super much. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping, counting my blessings because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.